Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to NEO Scavenger. If you remember last time, I kind of fucked up. Well, I did fuck up. And I actually died twice. The second time was trying to confront a DMC guard with a sharp spear, which is always a bad idea. But anyway, I've got back into the game. I've played a bit, as promised. And got some pretty good gear, as I've been able to take my time. So I've got a war club, which I think is an Anishinaabe war club, is it? Got a lot of food, a decent backpack, kind of Alice pack thing there, this higher poopy one, and I'm back into Detroit Megacity. So I'm going to go to Detroit Savings Bank, I think it's called, and we're going to have to pretend to be mentally challenged and try and get in there that way. Okay, so let's pretend to be a mental patient. Striking your best I don't know what's going on expression, you feign delight upon meeting the teller's gaze. Okay, so this is the same thing as last time. Reaching for a deposit slip, she asks, and to which account should we deposit this? So let's give her the account number. I think this is the way we did it. Or should I show her the medical bracelet? I think we should give her the account number probably. Using your offhand, you scroll the account number in childlike handwriting. An idea seems to occur to her and she starts typing it into her console. A few months later, she turns to you. Do you know Cale? Do you know Cale McAllen? I did look at this, by the way, guys. I've been calling him Cole for a while. His name's actually Kale. Okay, right. So we are now sorted to go and see Kale. So let's head down to Concrete Forest Apartments, and I don't think there's any way of actually doing this without alerting the Sky Corps, which are like the kind of RoboCop style police. And let's head towards Tower 48. Okay, so we can use the intercom and speak to him. We can jam the main door and look for another way in. Wait for someone to use the door, and we can check out the card lock. Okay, so let's check out the card lock. Okay, so we need the software to actually get into this, so what I'm going to do is just head back out to the market, see if we can do this the proper stealthy way. I doubt it, but there you go. Okay, gate 11. I did actually find some pretty good stuff on the way down. I found a bow, I've killed quite a few people as well, and hence why I've been able to sell a lot of stuff, and I've got like $471, which is very nice. So we need a smartphone from the junk market, or an eye slab, I think it is. Right, this is all the stuff I sold yesterday. This compound bow, this soft birch bag. If you hadn't guessed, I did actually kill one of the tribesmen, because that's where I got the soft birch bag and the club from. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Right, unfortunately I can't actually buy one of these. I could go and maybe try and speak to the Hatter quickly, see if he's got anything for me. Obviously last time he did give me the Camp Grayling mission, which I do plan to achieve, as I believe that is the end game. I doubt I'm going to get any loot from these, but let's just do a little scavenge. Excuse me. Can we go and see him? Right, let's just use the intercom, see if he's available. He's on important business, so I will have to come back tomorrow. Let's just end our turn, see if we can get towards night time, and hopefully get some new stuff from the trader in the morning. Have a little bit of a sleep. Okay, let's just sleep out there, and we'll try that again. Bit thirsty at the moment, but not really a problem. So purified all this water earlier, so there we go. I was actually in quite a bad way. I had malnutrition. I was actually starving desperately just before I got here, because I took the long route round to actually find a lot of good loot. So that's probably the best way to do it in future if I do die again, which is almost a certainty. So I do apologise for the stop-start nature of this series. Oh shit, didn't want to go in there. Let's just exit out of that again to the sprawl and head to the junk market. Okay, so we've got some different stuff. So we've got some arrows now for the bow that I gave them yesterday. Got a cardboard box, some rounds. Nothing of any use. Cheap memory stick. $51. Okay, I think these are all hacking software that are on these memory sticks. Are all different names. I'm actually going to take that with me. I mean, I could just resell it anyway if it's not the one. No real issue there. And let's head back down. If not, I'll just try and jam my way in. Let's head towards the tower again. And I don't think we can actually do anything else. No. Okay, that is a shame. Trapping. Let's jam the main door. Okay, looks like you could probably jam the main motorised door in order to force folks to prop open the overflow door. Even if they call maintenance, they'll likely keep the doors open while they're working on them. Finding a suitably small hard piece of junk, you cram it into the main door, jam out of sight, then you take up a position nearby so as to avoid suspicion. A few minutes later, the first victim arrives from outside, and you hear the bzzzt followed by a straining hum. He flicks his card again, emitting another bzzzt, but no luck. There are a few acrobatic attempts to activate the card lock while yanking on the door, but he only succeeds in tiring himself out. From inside, another tenant appears. She too is foiled by the door, and no combo of pushing and shoulder checking seems to help. Both tenants share silent, sympathetic exasperation through the glass, as you think to yourself, come on already. So obviously with jamming the door, they're hopefully going to call maintenance while they fix it. We just kind of, you know, slip in. There are a few more half-hearted attempts, and she starts looking around the second door. That's it, you mutter to yourself. She reaches down to where the door meets the ground and works a stubborn latch loose. Then she pushes the second door open, dropping its foot to keep it open. Okay, share a genuine laugh over the spectacle and continue on their way. You cross the door and step inside without missing a beat. Okay, inside it's pretty Spartan, industrial strength carpeting and tile and some ugly lavender paint. Good to see the anti-ballistic fake wood panelling industry is still in business too. The elevator bank is pretty impressive though, probably has to be with this many people here. Step into an elevator and punch the button for floor 39. Dented metal doors slide closed and you feel the car accelerate. So obviously we're going up to Cale McAllen's apartment now, as the woman in Detroit Savings Bank was like, oh, do you know Kale, blah blah blah, you know, all that real good confidentiality practice that tellers are meant to execute properly, but there you go. The ride is several minutes of humming, creaking and an annoying synthetic ding. Hear the occasional voices and music as you pass some floors, but it's a long, boring ride. Smells like stale fried food too. When you finally arrive on the 39th floor, the doors open to a muffled echoing TVs, music and the voices of those down the long hall. You turn right and make your way to Kale's room. Doesn't seem to be any sound from within, but it's hard to be sure in this noise. Okay, you're on floor 39 outside Kale's apartment. Knock on his door, leave the building, wait. Okay, can we hack? Okay, now, right, so we would need a smartphone to hack it. Let's see if we can use this USB pen. Probably not. No, solid, doesn't matter, confirm. Okay, so let's go back to floor 39 again. And I'm just going to bust this door open. This is going to make a lot of noise and I could actually get arrested here, but we will see. You don't have the time for subtlety or politeness. Crack, the door swings open, shredded moulding where the latch used to be. You step through, hoping the noise wasn't as loud as you thought. I assume it was if you just cracked the door open, but whatever. When the door is closed behind you, pale aquarium lights cast a glow on everything. You flick the overhead switch and find yourself in a veritable shrine to mere people, posters, statuettes, seashells and other paraphernalia crowd the studio apartment. One could almost mistake it for a gift shop, were it not for the unmade bed and the other personal effects. It's obviously weird, this guy. There's also an old spare wheelchair in here, stacks of skin cream and some sort of catheter device. Right, okay, so I assume maybe this guy could be disabled? I don't know. I do actually know the answer to that because obviously I misrecorded this episode when I did it last time, but I did do it another way and I actually waited for Kale and that was bad. So I did apologise for this in the last episode, but I will apologise again. Then you spotted, peeking out from another's pictures frame, a photograph of someone pushing you in a wheelchair. The young man pushing you looks vaguely familiar and is one of the many photos on the shelf. You can't remember who though. The building looks familiar. Saginaw Mental Institution reads a nearby sign in the photo. Right, okay. So we might have been in a mental institution by the looks of things. I didn't, obviously, because I did it a different way last time, I didn't get any of this information. I just basically got told to fuck off. by a guy in a wheelchair and then got arrested, so that was good. Saginaw, what were you doing up there, and why were you on your way in or out? The idea of a mental institution in your past shakes your confidence a bit. Your thoughts are interrupted, however, by the door opening. In the hall, you see a man with a phone to his ear and a murmur of commotion from further away. Looks like your expert burglary skills stirred up some attention, and judging by the part of the cell phone conversation you hear, the party's just getting started. Better get a move on. You push back through the doorway, past the gathering crowd, and hit the elevator call. The elevator ride is unnerving. Dozens of floors go by too slowly, and you wonder how much time you have before the Sky Corps arrive. Surely they're busy, it'll take a while, and by then Kale's neighbour will have seen there is no point. They've probably cancelled the call by now. The doors slide open and you step into the empty lobby. Right, okay, so we might even die here, so that'll be hilarious. Sirens blare suddenly into the street in a high warbling burst. Blue and red strobes light up the area as fan jets scatter moisture and debris around. A loudspeaker booms across the nearby building for shades. I don't know, fuck it. There is Sky Corps security. Step into the street and place your hands on top of your head. So we've got this big like hovercraft after me. Right, let's use hacking and see what we're up against. Take a moment to peer outside at the source of the noise. Hovering some 10 meters above is a sky bike, bristling with lights, exhaust, and semi-enclosed rider atop. Right, because it's got that like F1 flavour going on. More concerning is the nasty looking turret on the undercarriage. It looks like one part sensor suite, and one or more parts muzzle. It's aimed in your general area, but looks to be in some sort of pending acquisition mode. The thing would no doubt tag you if you ran, but it might have some trouble with transverse tracking if you move fast enough crossing underneath it. You'd have to be damn fast though. Right, so we're unburdened and well rested at the moment. We've got plenty of energy, so we might have to try this. Okay, so let's run underneath the sky bike and see how this goes. You steel your nerves and bolt, charging directly under the sky bike. A flash of red emits from its undercarriage and your body is painted in a flickering cross-hatched pattern. You hear the engine change pits as the vehicle reorients. A beep followed by a loud pow. Something smacks against the ground near your feet, flashing arcs of electricity as it skitters. Dodging down a side street, you hear the engines whirring behind you at a steady crescendo. You caught the jockey unaware, but this chase is going to be over pretty quick if you don't upgrade your strategy from outrun the high performance flying motorcycle. Okay, duck into a building, merge with the crowd. Huh. Use other ground and hover traffic as your cover. Duck into an alley. Let's merge with the crowd. People on the sidewalk here are thick enough that you could probably make yourself a risky target if you weaved through them. Dashing towards the sidewalk, you begin bobbing and weaving, though the skybike's flickering red target hash marks follow you. Do your best to present as few clear shots as possible, shoulder brushing one person, sidestepping the next. Pow! Something slams into you this time, dropping you like a sack of potatoes to the sidewalk. Your body twitches and convulses from the shock around your embedded in your skin, and everything smears into a wash of sound and light. Right, so we could be dead. Moments later, an armoured multi-wheeled personnel carrier appears, bearing the same colours and flashing lights as the Sky Corps bike. Bulky silhouettes emerge from the APC's glare and light, their shapes defined by heavy riot gear. Fuck, I cannot read again today, sorry guys. They approach you, bind your hands, and half escort, half carry you up a ramp to the APC's holding area. All the while, the red beam from the Sky Corps bike traces your moves, only shutting off as you pass through the APC's bulkhead. Instead, you're stripped of anything useful and strapped into a restraining seat. Hopefully they haven't robbed all my food and stuff, because that'd be massively shit. I had actually good gear for once there. You're left in there sitting in restraints, looking around a reinforced room with no windows. The sound of dust fans can be heard, but little else. Nothing seems to happen for an annoyingly long time, and then the APC begins moving. The acceleration is surprisingly subtle for such a big machine, though the ride is still pretty rough back here. When your ride comes to an end, the interior bulkhead opens again and the guards emerge to unfasten you. You're led to an exterior doorway which blinds you when opened. The sounds of the city spill in through the door along with some damp exterior air. You're guided down a ramp, and just as your eyes begin to adjust, you're dropped into a seat. Inside, under pale lighting, you're made to wait in restraints for hours. Drab cubicles divide most of the floor, and stern-looking operatives variously interview detainees, check computers, and disappear into other cubicles. Your eyes mine every detail of the room, looking for anything interesting to settle on. White foam ceiling tiles, beige filing cabinets, black inbox-outbox trays, pine desktops. It's so sterile that it actually incites frustration. Helpfully, informational posters and propaganda seem to be hung on display to add a splash of colour. DMC perimeter services, we care, and contraband, it hurts all of us. Yes, it does. The missing persons touchscreen was good for about an hour, but you've memorised all the faces by now. By the time your case handler... Sorry guys, bit of hay fever there, and a cough and shit, all going wrong. By the time your case handler arrives, you counted the ceiling tiles, grouped them into shades of beige, and created an elaborate conspiracy linking all of the missing persons. Your handler leads you to his cubicle, and you're subjected to a battery of tests including face scan, retinal scan, DNA sampling, fingerprinting, and a blood sample. I think this is basically me getting kicked out of the mega city here, I'm afraid. The interview is something of a comedy with questions like, what is your full name, address, and date of birth? And when asked where you obtained the forged pass, your answer is received less than enthusiastically. Okay. Hopefully we didn't just rat the hatter out. He was pretty cool and he had a nice hat, so... I don't know. You're escorted from the interview area and brought into an on-site clinic where you're strapped into a table and anaesthetised. When you wake, you're on a bench in a painted cinder block room, leaning against a corner. Both your head and right shoulder ache. A piercing beep fills the room as the intercom comes to life. You have been charged as follows: first-degree criminal trespassing, authorised access to a computer without intent to commit an offence, with intent obviously, sorry, fraud and misuse of visas, conspiracy to defraud the city of Detroit, consorting with a known felon, failure to disclose personal information. It's not like failure to disclose, I just don't know. Obviously I've just come out of cryo chamber like, you know, 2 days ago, and like they're like, where'd you live? Right, I haven't got a clue. The voice continues, you're hereby discharged from DMC Gate 11, marked and exiled for a period of 1 year. I wonder if you survive more than a year, if you can actually get back. I don't think anyone's actually survived a year, but I don't know. I really don't know. Failure to comply with this sentence is cause for a pending term of exile, not to exceed 2 years per infraction. A door on the opposite side wall buzzes, swings open, blinding you temporarily with the light from outside. When your eyes finally adjust, you see the cold, muddy streets of the DMC walls and huddling throngs of the sprawling inhabitants going about their business. Right, okay, so we've been booted, and he didn't take any of our stuff. Right, I need to go and sell this memory stick back. Let's just have a quick drink of water. So that was interesting. I don't know if I've got to head to Saginaw now, maybe, which is strange. To kind of head back there. Well, not really head back there, to actually head there. I haven't got a clue where it is. I don't think it's on the map either. In fact, I'm pretty certain I've never seen it before, and I don't even know if you can actually... Is it even in the map? Is it around here? I doubt it. There's Saginaw. Isn't Saginaw like Vietnamese or something? Oh, that's Saigon. Wow. Wow. Very clever. Just going to get some more water from over here. And pop that into my bottles. And I'll boil this up. And I think I'm going to leave the episode here, guys. Having a bit of trouble talking at the moment due to a bit of hay fever and other stuff. So my voice sounds even more fucking irritating than normal. Oh, some DMC guards over there. And I think after that, I'm just going to try and find out a bit more about this mental institution. And I don't know, go from there. But that was pretty interesting stuff. I can obviously wait for the Hatter and get given the Camp Grayling mission as well. So I've kind of got 2 objectives from there. Relatively decent gear. I did actually change my stats this time, so I've now got ranged and melee as a kind of trait for lockpicking. So that means I can't actually make locks or maybe even use lockpicking. So I might as well sell them lockpicks, but what can you do? And yeah, I'll go from there and see what happens. But that was pretty interesting stuff. Bit gutted that I got kicked out of Detroit, but you know, what can you do? So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon.